What did you want to do with Justice League Dark? What was like your main goal?
My main goal was to make a horror film with superheroes in it. That's basically what we were doing. I mean, there's still action. It's more like an action horror than anything, but we tried to have some scares and tried to like really be true to the horror genre, and I tried to like put those things throughout the film and also make it feel very different than what we've done in the past.
Well, it's one of the great things about the big two, Marvel and DC, is that there is this corner of the universe that has horror aspects and has these characters. Do you have a particular favorite in terms of the guys who are on this roster?
Constantine has always been my favorite. Like I've always wanted Constantine. I think a couple years back there was an idea that we were going to do a Swamp Thing movie, you know, a DTV, direct-to-video movie, and that kind of fell through. So the fact that when I found out that we were going to do Dark and Swamp Thing was going to be in it as well as Constantine and the rest of the team, I just thought, oh, how fantastic is this, you know? Yeah.
Can you talk a bit about bringing Matt in to play Constantine?
Oh my God, that was great. I think after my first question was, is Constantine and Swamp Thing in it? And my next question is, can we get Matt to come and do the voice, you know? And luckily, I mean, luckily enough, like it fit in his schedule, and we reached out to him, and he's like, sure. And he actually flew all the way out to LA. Originally, we were going to record him in the UK, but he actually said like, hey, I'll come down and do it, which was great because not many actors would do that. Yeah.
I understand that certain characters were deemed like maybe too big, like the Spectre, for example. Can you just talk a bit about that thinking?
I think what it was is that you know, Spectre appeared. We did the DC showcase with Spectre, but I think in terms of this lineup, we chose something as this is kind of like the very first lineup, and hopefully when we'll do sequels that we'll bring in the Spectre. But that way we can bring this because Spectre, like, he deserves like a whole storyline around him. Yeah. So I'm hoping that like because this is kind of the introduction to this kind of supernatural part of the DC universe, it'll open the door to more other characters, and I'm hoping Spectre will be in part 2 if we did do a part 2.
Is bringing Batman in part a corporate reason? I mean, I understand he fits into it and he's a reactive sort of like almost humorous character, but is there also something of a corporate mandate that Batman helps sell copies? Or?
I mean, you know, in general, Batman sells everything because Batman is everything. But I think if you see the film is a real good role, because the idea is that Batman, what I tried to do in the movie was, it has kind of a Fox Mulder, Scully kind of relationship between Batman and Constantine, where Batman is the skeptic. He's like, I don't believe in this magic stuff. And Constantine is like, look around you, there's demons, there's all this stuff. And Batman's like, you know, I think there's a scientific way to explain this all. So I like the fact that Batman is the one to kind of introduce the audience to this world, because, you know, to Zatanna, to Constantine, and all the other characters, the supernatural is a normal thing, yeah. You know. And I think we used Batman in a good way, in the sense that he's our introduction. He's our kind of level of where the audience is kind of at, because they're used to Wonder Woman fighting Darkseid and Batman, Superman, Flash kind of stuff. And this is the first time that we've shown that, you know, there's more to the DC universe than just parademons and Darkseid and you know, villain of the week. There's this thing that where it's not just your physical body that they want; they'll take your soul, you know, and that's something that, like, you know, we don't really touch upon in all the other films.
Sure. So Batman is everything is the new catchphrase, by the way.
Yes, Batman.
My last question for you would just be, what are you working on next?
I helped Patty Jenkins out on Wonder Woman. That's coming out next year, and I helped out Zach on Justice League. You know, so I'm doing a lot of the live action stuff right now. And I think I helped out a little bit on Judas Contract, which is our next one. I didn't direct it; I just helped out on it.
Judas Coin?
Judas Contract. You know, the one I think we announced it. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess I lied. This is my last question. What kind of help do you do with Patty and Zach on those live action films?
Oh, well, you didn't know? So I do the storyboards for them. So I worked. I did Man of Steel. I did the the ending. I mean, I did all the action sequences, you know, the Smallville fight. I did the destroying Metropolis. I storyboarded all that. I worked on Batman v Superman. I did all the Batmobile stuff. I helped Zach out on that stuff. So it's and I split my time, you know. And I also do the Flash TV show. Right. So I do the VFX for that. I do the storyboards for the VFX show. And then so I work on everything. I try to work on all the cool stuff that I can.